Good morning, everyone, or whatever time of day is. I got the clock still ticking here. The clock. It's the final countdown. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. Is that what we're going to have now with Joe Shane? Is that what we're heading to with Shane? The Shane or not? Is it the final countdown? Have we reached that pinnacle? Have we reached that crescendo? Have we reached Dable? Maybe on the hot seat. According to Mara, not even a week ago. No, we haven't. We have that vote of approval. We have that confidence in Joe Shane and Brian Dable. And I laugh because I'm just not seeing it. I don't see it. I don't get it. The Pittsburgh game was a great windows into the mind's eye. We've said this before. And you knew we weren't going to win. And even at 9-9, you kind of thought to yourself, well, the Steelers had what? I think it was 7 plus 10-yard plays in that first quarter. I don't know why we're running so slow again. We're on the wrong Wi-Fi. Hold on. Let's see if that improves anything a little bit better. We've reached that point where we're just kind of at a standstill. We're at a moment in time. Make sure you hit refresh because I had to restart the Wi-Fi. We're at a moment in time. We're at a standstill. We're at a peak of non-performance. And no, I have not watched the Duke yet. People keep asking me if I watched the Duke. I haven't got a chance to watch the Duke yet. I'm gonna have to watch the Duke later. But I just keep watching this team, and I keep thinking about this team, and I just keep thinking about it in general and how we are and what we're doing. And I mean, where we're going with this, and I can't, I truly can't figure it out. I really can't. It's one of those things. Hi, Peter. Hope everything's doing good. It's one of those things that I watch this team and I see what's going on, and I cringe a little bit every time I watch it and see what's going on. And you see Daniel Jones's play, and you have Dable telling us, well, on the interception, not interception, on the strip sack, he felt bad. He felt bad. Daniel Jones felt bad about that. You're a 6-year veteran. And I said it during the stream the other day when we were watching it. I said, you literally, and I kept saying, you need to shift over. You need to bring someone over to help Ellie Moore Fudd out. You need to do something. I don't know if you're going to drop over Singletary, if you're going to move with the tight end, but you didn't shift your line. And as a 6-year veteran, you should know that you have to shift the line, that you have to slide your protection to that side. Because you got TJ Watt there. You don't want to have an open runner. And I said this when we were watching it. And then someone sent me a clip. I guess Eli Manning was watching the same thing too. And I just sent me the clip I was watching because he's kind of pissed. Because Eli knows you got a 6-year guy. And you're not running, you're not seeing what you need to see on the field. Eli Manning milked that play clock down to 1. I don't know how many freaking times. How many times did Eli Manning drop that play clock down to 1 before he snapped that damn ball? Because he was calling out the mic. He was setting up his guys to be in position where he can get them the ball. He was literally doing what he needed to do to facilitate and matriculate the offense down the field. Daniel Jones just doesn't see the open rusher, doesn't shift his line protection, and you give a free running shot from TJ Watts. And you know nothing, when you do that, nothing's good is going to happen. And literally nothing good did happen. And then the very next drive, what do? The very next drive, what do we do? I'll tell you what we do. He sails a pass, and it's a bad interception. And I don't get it, because we're at that point again where we're like, listen, you got to figure something out. You can't keep doing this shit. Cutthroat. Well, thank you for the super chat, Cutthroat. Line shifts when I played Madden. How does Jones not know that? That's a great point. If you really are a Madden player, You're not a, you're not a, I don't know you're not a novice. You're right. That's a great point. You slide the protection. You literally do. You slide the protection because you can read the defense and you can see, well, you know what, we're going to have an open rusher on this side. So let's read the defense so we don't have an issue. But no, he doesn't even see that. Novice Madden players know how to shift the line. Daniel Jones doesn't. What's up, D Coop? What's good, Tim? I'm glad to make a live. Think we're benching Jones at the bye. I don't know. We have this weird, I don't know what you want to say. We have this weird thought process about Daniel Jones, this organization. Bryce Young got benched. Anthony Richardson got benched. What's his name? Will Levis got benched. And these guys got benched within their first and second years. We say to Daniel Jones, you know what, DJ? You got a couple more years, pal. You got a couple more years, my friend. You got a couple more years. Because 6 years is not enough for you to understand what we're doing in this philosophy known as the NFL. And I laugh because I just can't figure it out. I can't figure it out to the point that what are they seeing this guy? What is Dable seeing this guy? What is Shane seeing this guy? What is Maris seeing this guy that leads you to believe or gives you any indication that he is going to be an NFL quarterback in year 6? Year 6, and we're still hoping that he's going to turn around, that he's going to come around, that something is going to be something better. And it's not. And we just keep going down this abyss, and you hope that it's okay because we got a guy that can't play under clutch, who doesn't have the ability to call a line shift, who doesn't hit his Darius. Everyone's complaining about Darius Slayton and the drops. Darius Slayton has all these drops. His drops are drop. I hate the drop stat. Darius Slayton got credited for the drop when his quarterback in the middle of the field threw high. And he literally had to try to make a leaping catch to come down with it and missed. The other week, it was when he had to go and stop Darius Slayton and fall backwards to the left, trying to catch a low pass. But those were drop stats for Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones leads the league in drops. Maybe it's the fact that Daniel Jones does not have ball placement. Maybe it's the fact that Daniel Jones throws his wide receivers into contact. Maybe Daniel Jones doesn't understand that if you have a defender on the outside, you throw the ball to the inside. Maybe Daniel Jones doesn't understand you're going down the deep ball in the corner. You need to lead your wide receiver by at least 2 to 3 yards, especially if they're speedsters, so they can get it. You don't let them slow up to come back for the ball. But these are all Daniel. These are all on the receiver's fault. None of it's on Daniel Jones. Because he feels bad. I love that comment with Dable. He felt bad. It's like whoop-de fucking do. You feel bad. You felt bad that you didn't come down with the pass. That's what you felt bad about. Really? You feel bad. You know what I feel bad? Being a season ticket holder. That's what I feel bad about. What do I feel bad about? Giving tons of money to watch this garbage. I'm so happy your quarterback's Jalen Hurts too. I'd like to have my quarterback be Jalen Hurts. I'll trade you. I will give you what you want for Jalen Hurts right now. You tell me what you want. You tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. And I'll give you that for him right now. Zach Attack says going for 2 in that situation was dumb. The play call was dumb. The analytics it didn't make sense for the play call really didn't make any sense. You can blame neighbors. You can blame whomever you want. That was just a bad play call. Chris, for the love of MMA, say smash the like. Chris, of course, was out the other night with us at the Shining Rose, having a good time in Clifton, New Jersey. Dennis says Dable is either a moron or he's sabotaging the Giants. Yeah, I'm not sure which direction I want to go with that. Is Dable a moron or is he sabotaging the Giants? Those are all great questions. I mean, and there, you know what? It's funny. It's an honest question because you look at some of his play calling, you look at his clock management, you look how this team is playing. You benched Deontay Banks because Najee Harris made a highlight play by leaping over him, and you're saying, well, he dunked. It was a bad tackle, but you can let Neighbors basically call out your quarterback, be sullen, and just be this kind of guy. You're giving him the OBJ treatment in 6 games, but you're gonna go after Neighbors. Bobby Okereke looks like second-year Blake Martinez at times. He looks slow to the ball. He looks slow to react, but that's okay. We're going to go after this other kid who's supposed to be our lockdown quarter. Mr. Weaver says, amazing how far we've watched. We've lose against the Panthers. I won't even be shocked if Bryce Young throws 3 touchdowns against us. The defense is tired of the shit. I agree. No, I didn't get to watch the Duke. Joe Rev, good morning, online, Mr. Online Blue and G-Man Family. I hope that this is the final countdown for this front office. I don't think it is. I think this giant organization is going to continue to roll with this garbage. I think this giant organization is going to continue down this path. I don't think it's a smokescreen that Shane and Dable are saying, hey, listen, or I should say Mara saying, hey, listen, we're gonna sit here behind Daniel Jones. We're backing up Daniel Jones. We're backing up Shane. We're backing up everyone. I don't think it's coincidence. Similar to 2016 when we signed all those big free agents, we didn't have any offense to help keep the defense off the field. Yeah, but they still went 11-5. They still went 11-5, and they still made the playoffs. It was the 2 OBJ drops, and I believe the Sterling Shepard drop as well, that cost us that game in Green Bay. What's up, Pedro? What's going on? Oh my God. What do we got here? Is that your Mint Mobile Wi-Fi? Just kidding. Don't block. You're not gonna block you. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi right now. I want to get up and turn off the Wi-Fi and turn it back on again. Because that usually helps if I turn off the Wi-Fi and click it back on again. No, if it was my Mint Mobile Wi-Fi, we'd be cruising, man. We would be cruising. What do we got here? Petro says, what does Petro say? It is legit all centered around the quarterbacks. Players are going to give up because they know the quarterback can't do anything on offense. How can you be confident with haven't thrown a touchdown pass in 3 weeks? Oh, then I love it because my other favorite part is you wasted another game from Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone Tracy, he looks like he's a hit for Joe Shane. He wasted another game. This is only his second year really being a running back. If it wasn't for that 45-yard run by Tyrone Tracy, we wouldn't even be in the game. Because Daniel Jones, like I said, he drives for show between the 20s. Not even that well. But when you get inside the 20, everything fucking flames out. We can't do that. We can't do it. You have to score. What's up, RFFD? Jones is in charge of protections now. So they finally made the franchise quarterback do the franchise thing. That's a great question. Is he in charge of the protections now? Literally, is he in charge of these protections? You know what? Everyone, hold on a second. I'm going to go turn off the Wi-Fi. Hold on a second. Everyone, I'm going to stop the camera. Everyone just mute yourself for a second. Mute yourself in the chat. I'm going to go turn off the Wi-Fi really quick. All right, I'm back. Let's see if that clears up the Wi-Fi issue. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Let's see if that clears up the Wi-Fi issue a little bit here. I had to just restart the other Wi-Fi. Manuel says, also could be my computer here. What is good? What does Manuel say? I have a feeling that Shane might stay, but Dable is gone. I don't understand. How do you keep then Shane if you're going to get rid of Dable? Because Shane brought in Dable. Shane signed Daniel Jones. Shane matriculated the 2 contracts together for for Dexter Lawrence and Andrew Thomas. Shane drafted Evan Neal. Shane drafted Kayvon Thibodeau. You can look. Shane drafted Deonte Banks if you want to throw the kid under the bus already. And I don't think you want to throw the kid under the bus, but if you want to throw the kid under the bus, he drafted Deonte Banks. You're going to give him a couple of hits, but hits in season one does not progress into an entire career, aka see Deonte Banks. Joe Rev says there were like 17 guys open on that. There were like 17 guys open on that. That's the other thing. We got all these freaking guys open, but it's always, a couple more years plus a few million. Then Daniel Jones will be on point. At this point, Dable, it's hard to get fired. Remember this play he called for, the 2-point conversion, pure eye candy. It didn't make sense. He's called that play before. He's called that play in the past, but it was, I think it was last year he did the same stupid play. Should have got him fired last year too. RF says, which of the young quarterbacks have been benched would you possibly trade for if you don't have enough draft position for a quarterback? None. Because the reason I don't have enough draft position for a quarterback is because of the fact that I don't have enough draft capital to make a trade. So me taking my draft capital and moving it and trading somewhere else. I love it because I saw some early. I love it. I love giant content creators. I saw some early draft 2025 draft scenarios. They don't have the Giants taking quarterback. They have a Giants taking a running back. Didn't you just maybe hit on Tyrone Tracy? Of course, there was a segment of the Giant fans that wanted to re-sign Saquon Barkley to an extension in year 2. Mr. Reaver says, don't worry. As always, Giants going to win enough games to slide down the draft, even though they don't matter anymore. Only difference is this time they're going to be a new quarterback next year. Here's the problem with that whole scenario. We're in a bad draft situation now. If you take a look at the current NFL draft board for 2025, I think what are we, fifth? Not fifth. I think, what are we, 10th or something like that, or 12th or something crazy like that? We're already in a bad spot. We're 9th. We are currently 9th. You got Cleveland, Vegas, New Orleans, Jacksonville, Jets, New England, Tennessee, and Carolina. Carolina could take a quarterback. I don't know what Tennessee's going to do. New England's not going to take a quarterback. Jets could take a quarterback. Jacksonville's not going to take a quarterback. New Orleans could take a quarterback. Vegas could take a quarterback. And Cleveland could take a quarterback. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams ahead of us that could potentially take quarterbacks. We can bench Banks for a bad play, but it's DJ's pieces around him. That's the other thing that pisses me off. You can bench Deonte Banks, but Daniel Jones, we've heard for years, well, he just doesn't have this. He just doesn't have the pieces around him. That's the problem. Same with Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's a bum. He's terrible. Can't run. But he's playing behind the same offensive line you're using as an excuse for Daniel Jones. Doesn't that also fall against the running back? DJ, I love Dennis here. DJ is the owner's son. RF says the problem is they see him practice and work hard and study at the facility. They see him at his best, and that they're imagining they're in their minds. They can't reconcile the trash is Sunday. Here's the problem I have with that. I've seen issues with play recognition in training camp. He always looks good against the all shorts team. I've seen issues in regards to him going up against other competition that aren't the same players he sees daily. You see issues at times, and like I said, I've been using this analogy for weeks now. If you watch him, he's never had great velocity. You watch him throw, and I always use the analogy in regards to baseball called stepping in the bucket. And I was always accused of stepping in the bucket when I played baseball because of the fact that I got hit in the head in Little League. And I didn't have a fear of the ball, but I had fear of getting hit in the head. So what that means is when you stride with your front foot, you stride away from the pitcher and outside, kind of like you're bailing out. And that basically zaps all your power. Daniel Jones, if you watch him throw, he's got this weird throwing motion now where it almost looks like he's stepping in a bucket with that front foot as he's going to throw. I know Troy Aikman stole that from me. I think Zach sent me to this. Zach and actually someone else sent me that on the DM, and I thought that was kind of funny. Derek says, I don't understand the Slayton trade rumors. Fans say he was terrible. Why DJ is still under center? I don't understand the Slayton rumors either. He just had 4 catches for 100 plus yards. What the hell are these people looking at? I mean, seriously, what are they looking at? I don't know, because I see the same thing and I question the same thing. That's what kind of makes me scratch my head. It's the excuses. It's the excuses by management. It's the excuses by the head coach. It's the excuses by the general manager. It's excuses by the owner. It's all these fucking excuses. I'm tired of it. I want to thank Big L Gigante. I want to thank Swing Culture TV. I want to thank Chris for the Love of MMA for coming out and being part of the panel on Monday night. Here we are at the Shannon Rose Pub in Clifton, New Jersey. We did a live stream from the pub. We also called the game for the first half. It was a lot of fun. If you're in Clifton, New Jersey, make sure you go out and see the Shannon Rose. It was actually it's a very nice place, and they actually have some really good food. So that's Big L. That's Chris for the Love of MMA. We also had Swing Culture TV and his buddy come rolling out too. His buddy didn't want to come on, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I want to thank everyone for coming out and all those that did come out. Trenton Wright says, I can't believe the Giants have trotted out Daniel Jones for 6 years and still say, yeah, he's the best we've got. That kills me because you're right, because you're an Eagle fan. You trot out Jalen Hurts and all he does is get you to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. And you guys still bitch at him. You still think he sucks. Matthew, good morning, Tim and OBP. Family Danging being benched is a thing that the coaches in the front office needs to come to terms with sooner rather than later. He's never going to win a championship. End this madness. Now, he's not going to win a championship because it's fucking year 6. I want to shake people and say, you understand it's year 6. It's like politics. I don't want to get into politics, but I'm a registered independent. And you see people say they're going to vote for Kamala Harris. You want to shake them and say, fucking why? She doesn't say anything. She has no plan. She has no agenda. She literally was voted the most liberal senator. Everything she's saying is a lie, and she's just going to do the exact opposite. And she talks about how the other side is going to take away their freedoms. This is the one person that wants to abolish the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, wants to end the filibuster, wants to silence anyone on social media that has a difference of opinion, and wants to basically saying to you, we're not going back because we're going to fix what's going on in this country. You fucking broke it. You fucking break it, and then you want to tell me you're going to fucking fix it? You caused the spike of inflation. You are the one that you were the deciding factor on 2 bills, which overheated the economy, but you're going to fucking fix it. It's like Daniel Jones. I've been watching this asshole for 6 fucking years. I've been telling people over and over again, he ain't got it. I've been telling people since the end of year 1. We've talked about it. I did a whole freaking video mentioning every single thing that was wrong with Daniel Jones and what he needed to fix in year 2, and he hasn't fixed any of it. But somehow, he's the savior. Razzle said, but did you hit the like yet? No, wait. There we go. But did you hit the like yet? Razzle said 60% of DJ's throws this past game was checks downs of under 7 yards. And that's the other thing. He doesn't throw the ball. He's got one of the lowest yards per play. He's got, I think it was last year and the year before, he had the least, I think he was either first or second for the least amount of time. The ball literally travels in the air. And you're the quarterback. You're the quarterback. Muzzle one says, Dable has had it with Jones, in my opinion. I don't know, because if you did, you got to get rid of him. Yeah, he reminds me of Blake Martinez year 2 right now. Bobby Okereke. Blake Martinez year 2 looked slow. He looked out of place. He couldn't find the seam anymore. He wasn't flowing to the ball. Yeah, Okereke had 14 tackles, but they also ran the ball deep into the second level. Chris really gonna love him and say, I feel like maybe the fact that deep down Dable doesn't mind anyone calling out Jones doesn't help. Pretty sure Dable didn't want Jones's contract. Then start Drew Lock. Then fucking start Drew Lock. We have said it before on this show. How many times?
Are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you. What? You wake up in the morning, you say, I put on my big boy pants. Look, I'm wearing a belt. I got big boy pants on.
Put your fucking big boy pants on. Say to the management, say to Mara, I am starting this because of the fact that Jones does not give us the best chance to win. I said it on Twitter the other day. You know what he does? He gives us the best chance to lose. That's why you continue to play him. The front office is going to give Dable and Shane a chance to draft a quarterback. Yeah, because in year 4, and I love the philosophy of some giant beat writers. Well, you can't keep changing GMs and coaches every 4 years. If you suck, yeah, you can. Because don't worry. People keep saying I'm a genius, but how can you really screw up 5 and 7? Well, you fucking did it. And I always sit there and I remember Lamar Jackson, unrestricted free agent, sitting there in the market. And we give Daniel Jones the money. Lamar, could you imagine if you had Lamar Jackson, potentially Saquon Barkley, neighbors? But we give Daniel Jones all the money because Lamar Jackson is only a 2-time NFL MVP, and Daniel Jones won a playoff game. Lamar, Mahomes, Stroud, Love, Daniels, Burrows. Dare I say Cousins on a team, we become a Super Bowl contender. Oh yeah, if you have one of those guys, you're automatically Super Bowl contender. Not a Super Bowl contender, but you're a playoff team. If he secretly wants others to call it Jones, get it. Jennifer says it's 2 wins. It's 2-win year looking for the total clean house at the end of the year. I think we're still going to get stupid and win 5-6 games. My initial prediction for this team was a 5-win season. And I still see this team being I still see this being a 5 to 6 win team. Because you're going to run into guys, you're going to run into teams that are going to have injuries. The ball is going to bounce a certain way. It's going to be one of those things that you're going to run into a team that's just having a string of bad luck. I still think that. Razzle the Great says Kirk Cousins felt like the best fit for what we do in New York. I'm really shocked that he's not here. No, because if what we really seem to be doing is a dink and dunk offense. No, you can't give Locke. You can't give Cousins because Cousins likes to go deep. Peter says every other organization gives a rookie quarterback too short of a leash, not the Giants. We give him 6 years and still don't know what we have. I might jump off a bridge soon. Think about that for a second, though. Dave Brown was here for 6 years. We gave Dave Brown a second contract. Dave Brown went his first season starting. He couldn't get out from behind Phil Simms. His first year starting under Dan Reeves, he did go 9-6. The Giants finished that season 9-7, didn't make the playoffs, but then the wheels fell off the bus entirely. So think about that. Daryl, yo, an OBB crew, Cam Ward in 2025. I'm starting to think that. What is Mr. Carson here? I need a decent quarterback and a QB. We'll be balling. You have a decent QB in Banks. Yes. He dogged it on that play. 100%. It was inexcusable. 100%. 1,000%. But for you to bench him for lack of effort on the fact that Najee Harris leaped him and sat there and said, well, it's because of that, because he leaped him. He didn't try enough effort. That's bullshit. And you've seen Daniel Jones do some stupid ass stuff for the last 6 years, last 3 years under your watch, and you leave his ass in the game. I don't think we still need a running back yet. We have to wait and see, but I'm not drafting a running back that early. Starting to really like Tracy, he runs with purpose. He does. He runs with his head down. He runs with purpose. He's only been really playing this position for 2 years. He was a wide receiver until that last year in college. I mean, he's running with a purpose, but we have to wait and see what happens as teams start to get more and more film on him, as teams start understanding his tendencies, as teams starts figuring out, okay, he likes to cut back this way, he likes to go this way, he likes to attack this way. He's a one-cut guy. You just have to wait and see a little bit. Matthew says, Jones has choked the end of multiple games this year. A few passes, it looks great, but no consistency. This does not make a great quarterback. I can throw a 90 ball for some throws, but I was injured and inconsistent. Daniel Jones, I've been calling him one drive Danny for 4 years now, especially in that playoff run. He would have one good drive a game, 112 play, 80-yard drive that was a touchdown. I ate up like 8 minutes of the clock. And I remember that year, I think it was in the Texans game, he had the drive early. And I remember looking at who I was with, and I was like, oh, it was Irish Rover. I remember looking at Irish Rover and go, well, we're fucked now. He had his one drive. Sure as shit. That's what he did. It wasn't until Darius Slayton bailed him out on that bad pass and took it 60 yards did the offense even do anything. Doesn't make you a pro. It doesn't make you a pro player. You're right. I'm amused. What's up, Jennifer? What are you amused about? If Sanders is gone, we are done for another 5 years. I'm not a big Sanders fan. I don't want his dad in New York. I don't think Deion wants his kid to go to New York. I don't like his attitude. I think he does have talent, but I don't need that attitude here. Matthew says, I'm not confident Dable being the long-term answer either. I looked at his track record. It's not good other than 1 year with, you know what? If that's actually a great point. If you truly look at what Dable has done outside of Josh Allen, it's not that impressive. Shane, I have more confidence. I don't have any confidence in Shane. I have zero confidence in Shane. I think when the Buffalo Bills were drafting Josh Allen, they locked Joe Shane in the bathroom. That's what I think happened. I think they locked him in the bathroom. Shane is not a smart GM. He has a good face, kind of like DJ, doesn't buy the look, buy the substance. Neither Shane or DJ are worth a damn. My problem with Shane is he misreads the market every fucking time. Like I said, that Hard Knocks, the Hard Knocks, you have people still talking about how bad that Hard Knocks made the Giants look and how bad they make Joe Shane look. I mean, how do you? I love it. Let me get on my phone. Don't worry, Mara. Saquon's going to the Bears. And in other news, Philadelphia Eagles have just signed Saquon Barkley. That's Joe Shane in a nutshell. That's Joe Shane. There we go. I have my voice now. All right, I have my voice now. That's Joe Shane in a nutshell. He overpaid for all of his free agents. He gave $5 million too much to Bobby Okereke. If you take a look at what off-the-ball linebackers got with the Bears, they got $5 million less a year than Bobby Okereke. Overpaid for Runyon, overpaid for everyone. It's overpaid for Drew Lock. It won't play him. Daryl says we need a heavy seller before the trade deadline. That's the other thing. We don't sell. It reminds me of Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy, that old 1982, I believe it was, when they were selling the concentrated oranges. Sell. We don't do that. We don't sell. Going back to Landon Collins. You weren't going to bring back McKinney, get something for him. You weren't going to bring back Barkley, get something for him. I still think right now, if Azeez Ojulari can stay healthy, you trade Kayvon Thibodeau. The minute Thibodeau went out, I said that Brian Burns was going to look like a better player because you don't have a carbon copy philosophy on both sides of the ball. And don't forget to hit the like. Alex said, best bet is to trade up for the Pats. Yeah, that's actually, you probably could do that. Michael says, Tim, we could have traded up with the Patriots and grabbed the quarterback. Now, the Patriots wanted too much. I wasn't overly sold on Drake May. I still think Drake May is a more athletic Daniel Jones. New York State of Mind. In the New York State of Mind, we will move up at the end of the season. I hope we do. Petro says, look up at the Giants' record through 8 games going back to 2017. I go back and look at the Giants' record since Brian Dable's first year and his 2-7 start. I think we've won 8 games since then. Started 2-7, finished 2-5-1. They always win mini slumps games. Walla, what's up, Tim? Seriously, players are just giving up since they know Jones will never get punished for poor play like everyone else. I don't like to think that NFL players give up. I don't like to think that if you're doing your job, I don't like to think that players give up. And I know that's me being kind of stupid. Because, you are going to have players that are quitting, you give up. Everyone's human, but in your professional career, you don't think they're going to give up. But I've seen some players, and I'm not going to start calling out people because we already called out Deontay Banks and Bobby Okereke, but I've kind of seen some limited. I've seen some people that look like they've kind of, they've not gone in the tank, but kind of not putting in the maximum effort. We all know Jones must go. DJ looked like he was throwing a loaf of bread. I think I could throw a loaf of bread better. I might have to go outside and see if I can find a loaf of bread and throw it. DJ's brain is a loaf of bread. Hey-oh. Oh, my God. Maxie, what does Michael say? We're not going to re-sign Slayton, so trade him for a pick. Is this the second year? This is the second year of the Slayton contract. This is year two. This is year 2 of the Slayton contract, so you might be right. But I know if you're not going to bring him back, because you never seemed like you wanted him anyways, why not? That's a great point. Why not just trade him? Why not just move on from him? Get some assets. Maybe potentially when Jalen Hyatt comes back from the rib, maybe potentially you take a look at it and say, okay, maybe we can do something else. Maybe we can do better. Maybe we can get someone there that we can use because of the fact that it's going to be part of the future. I've said this before, and I've said this a million times over and over again, and I'm always going to say this. Take a look at this team. Take a look at this organization. And look at the players that we have now. Do you think Andrew Thomas is going to be good by the time we're good again? Do you think Dexter Lawrence is going to be good by the time we're good again? Do you think Brian Burns is going to be good still by the time in like 2027? Do you think, you said basically you didn't want a 27-year-old running back because he's at the end of his career. Even though most people tell you that most players peak at 27. So you could have had his peak year, but that's what people tell you. So you have to look at this roster and say, are these guys going to be good? Or are these guys not going to be good by the time we're good? And then look at their contracts, look at the value. It may not be the most popular thing to do, but if you are sitting there at 2-9, you need to tear the shit down. Patrick says, is there any reason to watch the Giants anymore? I can't take it. I watch more OBB than the games. Well, Patrick, that's because you're so intelligent and good looking at the same time. But thank you. Michael says, we're not going to re-sign Slayton, so trade him for a pick, maybe a third or fourth. I don't think you're going to get a third or fourth. I don't think you're going to get me a third or fourth. I think you're going to get like a 6th or a 7th. Slayton on a good team's a third guy. Bro, you just lost me on politics. So, goodbye. I was making an analogy. I was making a comparison. And if that offends you, you're really in the wrong fucking place. He was right, bro. I was right. Chris says, I will stay. This year's draft pick seems to be the hits. We're all going to at least moving in the right direction. You can't even go anywhere without a real quarterback. At least there's going to be some hope long term. I hope there's going to be some hope long term. Strider says, DJ got Slayton almost killed because he took a shot. Oh my God. When he threw the ball high to Slayton in the middle of the field, I was like, he is going to fucking kill Darius Slayton. He is going to kill him. He already threw Neighbors into concussion protocol. He got Saquon Barkley hurt twice in his career. Saquon Barkley's second-year season, when Saquon had to come back for that badly thrown pass and basically tore up his ankle, and the year after the injury, he almost got him killed. Hey, Tim, I can't believe some fans are blaming Malik's drops on the losses. He's a rookie, though, trying to carry the offense. How does he get less of a leash than Daniel Jones? Because he's not Daniel Jones, I guess. But you're right. He's getting less of the slack that he deserves because of the fact that you're right. The kid's a rookie. He's a rookie. Leave the poor kid alone. Let him get better or get worse. Don't just sit there and tell me that he sucks or he's having a bad year because he's got the drops and he's inconsistent. I love it. He's got the drops and he's inconsistent. You throw the ball to him 15 times a game. Okay? 15 times a game, you throw the ball to this guy. you throw him into positions where he doesn't look like he's doing the right thing because of the fact that it's just he's just not put in the right position to catch the ball. But you want to sit there and to everyone's point, you want to blame the rookie for the errant passes of your quarterback. I don't get that. You don't look at the position of the ball he's thrown into. You don't take a look at that he's having these moments, he's having these issues for a reason. But you give Daniel Jones 6 years, but in 7 games, you want to say that everything entirely is Malik Neighbors' fault. Malik Neighbors isn't throwing himself the ball. Matthew says, "Shit, I would have preferred Baker Mayfield. If I would have liked Baker Mayfield too." Mr. What's Alexander saying? Mayfield is making less than DJ and has led the league with touchdowns and completion percentage. When Baker Mayfield was on the market and took $8 million, I was not sitting there crazy about Baker Mayfield. I like Baker Mayfield coming out of college, and I thought he could be better than he was those years in Cleveland. He had that one big year in Cleveland, and you kind of saw that progression go downhill a little bit. I mean, he basically flamed out with the Panthers, but who doesn't? He looked okay with the Rams, but there was that season with the Bucs that with 28-10 over 4,000 yards. Yeah, I mean, why not take you took a $5 million flyer on Drew Lock. Why not take an $8 million flyer on Baker Mayfield? I think Baker Mayfield would have been fun. I've said that before over and over again. I think Baker Mayfield would have been fun in New York. His attitude, his personality, his arrogance, his swagger, his cockiness. I think that would have been fun until he started losing. Strider said, Tim, there's got to be a low for the Giants not to draft any quarterbacks from Duke. I agree. Mayfield is real NFL quarterback. DJ is a real backup. Baker Mayfield right now has 21 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, is already thrown for 2,100 yards and completing 71% of his passes. Yeah, Baker Mayfield is a real quarterback. Giants need to bench Jones once they lose to Washington so they continue tanking. At least half the team in the front of the office and draft can win more games than that. I agree. Strider says, I don't think Sanders will work out in New York. New York is a tough place. New York is a tough place to play. You look at the likes of, go over to the Yankees. Look at the likes of like Ed Woodson. Ed Woodson came over from the San Diego Padres, flamed out New York. You've had plenty of players that have tried to come here and play and just can't because it is an intense media spotlight. Unlike Baker, I don't think Sanders would be fun here. I think Sanders would be like a Josh Rosen here. So that's why I'm kind of not going down the Sanders road. Shane doesn't understand him. He doesn't. He can't read the market. I still get ticked off. We could have traded for Lamar. They wanted 2 first-round picks. He was an unrestricted free agent though. He was they didn't use the exclusive tag on him. they could have just signed him. I agree on trading Cave. I'm just saying this with Kayvon. Brian Burns and him are carbon copy players. You look better with Azeez Ojulari. It's the health of Azeez Ojulari that you need to worry about. You also need to worry about if you're going to resign him. Christopher Lemon, I may say, as to the Steelergram, I agree. If we could get and trade any edge, it's got to be Kayvon. You're right. I know I'm right. Petro says the best rookie quarterback of this class hasn't played yet. Make a call for Michael Penix. They're not going to trade for Penix. I loved Penix. I said that outside of Caleb Williams, I thought Penix was the most pro-ready quarterback, and I still believe that. Because of the way that he looked, because of his understanding of the game, because of the way he played in college. He's a little bit older. He had a little bit better feel. Malik Willis ain't looking too bad now either, huh? 3-0. There's only one other undefeated quarterback right now in the NFL outside of Malik Willis, and that's Patrick Mahomes. He's got more wins than Jordan Love. He's got more wins than Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. We're not going to talk about it. College quarterbacks, a target award from Miami, Milroad, Bama, Daniels from Kansas. Yeah, I the Milroad kid. I mean, I think he's more of a runner than anything else. Penix or Milton from the Pats. I wanted to take a shot on Milton. Did a whole video on it, calling him the low level giant. I can't remember the name of it. I like Joe Milton. I like Joe Milton a lot. And I think Joe Milton, if you take a look at his stats at Tennessee, they were almost identical to A.R. Richardson's last years in college as well. They were almost identical, but one was a first rounder and one was a bum. Tim, imagine you're a coach and you're trying the hardest to help him. You say DJ sees the dude standing in the middle of the field. What about the blitz? That's the Mike. DJ tells you my name is DJ, not Mike. Hey-oh. Phillips got beat by Austin. He's not Sauce Gardner. Theo Johnson barely gets action. Newbin's solid. Neighbors has no quarterback. Phillips has played well. You got to give Phillips credit, but it is not to take away from anything Phillips has done. But as a rookie corner, when you were leading the league in sacks, your team, the pressure is not on you as much. And we have seen when the pressure does not get to the quarterback, the opposing quarterback, our secondary has problems. Theo Johnson, like I said, I didn't like Theo Johnson coming out of college. Did not like him at all. Sam I am. Did not like him at Happy Valley. Did not like him in New York. Because of the fact that if you read the scouting reports, Theo Johnson, all this talent, all world talent, athletic, has all the ability, has all the skills to pay the bills. He's just at times disinterested, inconsistent, and doesn't seem like he wants to play. Read that in a bunch of scouting reports. I was like, nope. But then I thought to myself, no, he's a perfect Giant. Let's see. Alvarez says, God forbid this draft class that has a sophomore slump because then look like as bad as the others. And Mr. Alvarez, that's the thing. It's early. Wait, because these guys are going to slump. We've said it before with Daniel Jones in the Tampa game, his first year. I kept telling people, you started here. And I literally told people, what's going to happen is, I said, he's slowly going to do this. And then he's going to get right here and he's going to go like this. And then he's going to do this again. He's going to come back up a little. He's going to peak and go right back down again. Because that's what happens your rookie year. Time to grow up. According to Brian Burns. How about Brian Burns? DJ throws the ball like a tight end. I don't know. I've seen some athletic tight ends. DJ is Brian Dable's right-handly. DJ is Tim Tebow. Well, you could say that because Tim Tebow won a playoff game, but he actually beat a good Pittsburgh defense. Sanders will throw his O-line under the bus. That's the other thing with Sanders. Sanders has already called out his teammates. Sanders has already called out opposing players. If you don't win and you do that, like I said, I kept saying this over and over and over and over again when we drafted Kayvon Thibodeau. When you come in here cocky and boisterous, and you're like, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Well, the problem is this. If you don't do it, if you don't get a sack a game, if you don't do everything that you say you're going to do, here's the problem. People aren't going to listen to you anymore. And that's kind of happened with Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau came in here. I'm getting a sack a game. Didn't get a sack game. Next year, it's 2 bad games in a row, start off the season, he goes after the press and the fan base. He then has like 7 sacks in 3 games. And then the last 7 games or 6.5 games, he has a half a sack. And again, it's the fan base and the media that's everyone else's problems. You could be cocky and arrogant if you back it up. Plain and simple. That's even worse than Lamar could have been a Giant. Yeah, it is worse than Lamar could have been a Giant. Lamar could have been a Giant. Literally could not. They did not use the exclusive tag on him. He could have been a Giant. He could have been anybody. That's why they were talking about collusion. Sanders will throw his O-line under the bus if your team struggles 100%. You think the Giants can win 4? I still think the Giants are going to win 5 to 6 games. I'm going to keep telling this to people over and over again. Your thought process and hope of the Giants getting into a high spot in the draft is going to be nil. I think they're probably going to pick around, let's see here. They're probably going to pick, if they win 5 or 6 games, I think they'll pick anywhere between, they'll probably pick anywhere between, let's see where we got here. 5 or 6 games, bring that down. If they win 5 or 6 games, I think they'll pick anywhere between 9 to 14th. If they win 5 to 6 games, like I think they will. Because you're going to play Carolina. So you hope that's a win right there. Let's, why we're thinking about this, let's do that. Let's do this. New York Giants schedule. Let's do this. Let's figure it out. We actually haven't been wrong. We've been picking games really good this year. So let's see here. All right, they got the Commanders at home. I think that's a loss. They got the Panthers over in Europe. I'm going to give them a win. They got the Bucks at home. That's a loss. They're going to lose to Dallas in Dallas. You can maybe see them winning against the Saints depending on the quarterback situation. So it's 2 more wins. You got the Ravens. That's a loss. You got the Falcons. That's a loss. You got the Colts. That's probably a loss. Well, it depends. You know, I'm going to give the Colt win a game. I'm going to give them a Colt. I'm going to give that the game a win. So then you got the Giants against the Eagles. So if that game is nothing for the Eagles, that's a win. That's your 6th win. If it's something for the Eagles and the Eagles are playing for something for your 5-win team. Well, it is worse than I thought. James says, time to bench Jones before he gets hurt and triggers the injury clause, kicks in and can't afford to do what happens to seeing enough of Jones. We can't win at an NFL level, and Jones and Davis. He couldn't win at a college level. He didn't win at Duke. Strider said, somebody said DJ was showing some emotion and getting pissed against the Steelers. I'm like, who the hell fucking, it's funny. I did the video yesterday. I don't know if you watched it. And it was funny that you mentioned that because I was like, I heard Brian Dable and other people going, DJ's showing emotion. He's doing this. He's showing some heart. He's showing some moxie. I even said in the video, who fucking cares? It's year 6 and we lost. And it's not like we lost in a good way. We turned the ball over on consecutive drives, and they were the last 2 drives of the game. So no. And if you're telling me, well, DJ still has to learn how to win, we have to wait till year 7 for him to learn how to win. I keep butting my head up this, guys. It'll be 7 years. 7 years. Can you fathom the point that if DJ is back next year and he is our starter next year, that it's going to be year 7? I mean, that literally just keeps blowing my mind that it could potentially be year 7. And we're still going to have to talk about the fact that we don't know what we have in Daniel Jones. Can you imagine? But literally, can you imagine that? What franchise in modern NFL history has had a quarterback for 6 or 7 years who doesn't perform? Can anyone think of one? Bueller. Can we think of one? I can't. Also, Tim, how would you feel about cutting Jones, drafting rookie quarterback, signing Nick Mullins or Josh Dobbs as the bridge? I don't like either of them as a bridge. I don't have a problem with I don't have a problem with Cunningham and playing Randall Cunningham. Call up Randall. He's probably like 60 something now. Say, hey, you want to come back? Want to make a comeback? I don't have a problem with that at all. Because if you're going to continuously be bad, and if you're going to continuously try to tease the fan base, just burn the whole fucking thing down. Start over. Be the rebuild of the rebuild of the rebuild of the rebuild. That's all you got to do. Be the rebuild of the rebuild of the rebuild. Think of it that way. Because what do you have to lose? I mean, seriously, at this point in time, if you're going to go into your 3rd or your 4th rebuild after how many years, what do you have to lose at this point in time? Nothing. Start over. We're always starting over, which I think is funny. But why not start over and start over the right way? The worst thing that could have happened, and we talked about it before, was starting that season 7-2. Because then they had this misconception the next year that they were a playoff team. And they went to the thought. Shane even said at one point in time, I got away from my thought process. Thought we were a playoff team. We turned out we weren't. You're not a playoff team this year. You're not. You're not a playoff team this year. But Sanders, I believe, will be a franchise quarterback for the Giants. I can't see it. What do we got here? Even if Jones can't throw a touchdown against the Panthers, leave him in Germany and don't let him back in. Can we revoke Daniel Jones's passport? Is that possible? I don't think that's possible. Tim, I see one more giant win. I see one more giant win this year. Remember when TJ Watts got free untouched? Some of it. Yeah, I do remember. Matthew says 23, 43, and 1. He's a loser and he will never win again. I love it. Svi, who used to hate me because I used to knock Daniel Jones. I'm not saying he's adoring me now, but we're cordial. He sent me a text. He sent me a DM saying, Daniel Jones is not a loser. And I need to send him this text that says, well, 23, 43, and 1 is a loser because that's not a winning record. Michael says, Tim, I see one more win. The Giants will win 3 games this year. Greg says, I agree with James Stein. We need to bench him before he gets hurt. This franchise just got used for being average. It's 100 years. The Giants still haven't figured it out. Year 100, shaking my head. Dable, Shane, and DJ got to go if they win 4 to 6 games this year. Could you imagine that? We could be sitting here in the 125th anniversary thinking to ourselves, we just got to give DJ one more year. One more year. I know it's year 32, but I think he's starting to make the corner. Remember when TJ Watts was untouched in the force of fumble that on TJ who failed the line shift, no communication, no skills. Yeah, straight up, we talked about that. And I did a whole video about it before, and I loved it because, like I said, I didn't know Eli Manning talked about it on the thing because I was doing the live stream. And it was great because he was right. I thought he should have shifted over Singletary, but that's just my opinion. But I'm not going to argue with soon-to-be Hall of Fame quarterback Eli Manning. Disrespectful to the fans to keep playing Daniel Jones. I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. The last win we had was the weekend that Eli Manning was nominated for the Hall of Fame. We've said this over and over and over again. This is a curse. This is the curse of Eli Manning.
This place is cursed.
MetLife is cursed because what we did to Eli. And once Eli gets elected into the Hall of Fame, it's the curse of the Billy Goat. Once he gets elected into the Hall of Fame, the curse will be lifted. There will never be another quarterback given this long of a leash while producing as little. That's the other thing. We've given him 6 years. We've given him, he's 23, 41, and 1, whatever it was, I can't remember the next time. And we keep thinking to ourselves, well, we've done everything to screw this kid up. Didn't you do the same thing to Saquon Barkley then? Low quarterback draw. Oh my God. Matthew, I'm going to get to the quarterback draw for a second. I saw a video posted a couple days ago. Yesterday, shifting to Dable got me realizing Dable isn't deserving more of any chances, needs a new court. There was a play. There was a play against the Steelers. And this was and I didn't understand what the hell the Giants were doing. I didn't think the Giants were playing with urgency in that second half. But they are down by whatever they were. And the first 2 plays, I think it was like 4 minutes left or whatever. I can't remember what it was. Not 4 minutes left. I think it was 4 minutes left in the first half. And it was 2 minutes left. I can't remember. But they get the ball back. The first play is a run. The second play is a designed run with DJ. And he gets like 3 yards. DJ's not a running quarterback anymore. Teams have figured out if you want to stop Daniel Jones, you don't have to it's not a Michael Vick scenario where you put a spy on him. Just keep a linebacker like you should. Keep a linebacker in the middle of the field. And if he goes, as soon as he comes up off that line, just wallop the shit out of him. Maybe Dable is trying to throw this thing here. Marlon Jackson says, should they go after Dobbs in the interim? They could trust their backups at all right now. I don't know. Like I said, you know what? My thing is this. Throw Drew Lock out there. I'm not a Drew Lock fan. I've never been one of these guys that was even saying, hey, listen, we need Drew Lock. We need Drew Lock. We need Drew Lock. I hate it when we signed Drew Lock. I kept telling people Drew Lock's not the answer. He's not even the fucking question. But throw him out there. Why not? Could he do worse? Not really. Hell, throw out Tommy DeVito. I think you'll get him killed because I know Tommy DeVito is not an NFL quarterback. Peace. Tim, hope all is well. Everything's doing good, Kevin. Danny Dinks without dunks. Daniel Jones, DJ's a loser. He got $100 million in the bank. Whatever drafted and re-signed him, and is a loser. Daniel Jones has like almost $200 million. He stole almost $200 million from us. Think about that. He stole stole $200 million, didn't even use a gun. And for me, if we can't get Cam Ward, do you think the LSU quarterback is good? I wouldn't mind getting him either. I would go Ward or bust. I told everyone I was a Carson Beck fan the start of the season. I thought Carson Beck was going to be the number one pick. I thought he was going to be the guy. And then I've watched him in losses and I watched him in wins, and he does not look good. He does not look good this year. He seems to have taken a massive regression. Carson Beck should come back and play next year again in college. He should not come out. And I wasn't a fan of Cam Ward at Washington State. And we've said this a million times. Yes, he has potentially 3 Biletnikoff finalists that he's throwing to. But you got Travis Hunter in Colorado too. But he goes through his progressions. He hangs in the pocket. He's a big kid. I watched him actually do a little shifting here and there, do a little line shifting. I saw him audible. Nearly fell over that a college kid is audibling. Let's see. Giants can't roll any more dice on drafting a quarterback. Giants can give up 3 first-rounders and a couple of seconds to get a proven quarterback to truly build around. But who are you going to get? Laughing elephant. Who are you going to go after? This is my question to you, and I'm not trying to be an asshole about it. Who's your target? Who are you going to target? 40% of the game he's played has not thrown a touchdown pass. Yeah, I know that too. I saw that too. Tim, I know you're old, but I believe Belichick could turn this Giants team around. I know he's old. These reunions never work out. He's old ball coach outside of Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil was the exception to the rule, and he wasn't 70. Outside of Dick Vermeil, you take a look at some of the guys, even back to history, that came back after winning championships. You take, like I said, I always go to Hank Strand with matriculate that ball down the field, boys. First Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs. Storied career. Got lured out of retirement to coach the New Orleans Saints. No, it didn't work out. Mike Ditka. Super Bowl winner. Got coaxed into again with the Saints. Didn't work out. Flamed out. It normally just doesn't work out. The other exception is the Walrus. But again, Andy Reid's not 70 plus years old when he went to Kansas City. That's only my thought process. Tim, I'm still waiting for DeVito. Danny DeVito? He's on taxi. I think Tim has said this many times, including to myself, and runs and TDs. Dan's got us because of the guy's name, Saquon Barkley. You got to go with Saquon, man. I'm like, well, yeah, I agree. 100%. Anthony says, looks like we'll be hard for us to get a quarterback in the draft. So many teams need one. Our strength of the schedule has us all the way at the back of the line. The thing is, you don't have to take quarterback in the first round. I said it last year. You can take quarterback in the second round. Hell, you can take one in the third. You could take one in the fourth. It's okay, but you got to take one to actually see. Spencer Rattler, to me, is playing at a necessity in New Orleans, and I don't think he's an NFL quarterback, but he's playing. So you don't take a shot on anybody in the later rounds because you think your quarterback room was safe with injury-prone Daniel Jones, never proven himself Drew Lock, and the wannabe Danny DeVito. That, again, is not reading the market. Beck turned me off in the Bama, so I didn't. Yeah, he actually turned me off in the Bama game too. Danny Dimes was throwing a tantrum. I mean, he was mad and felt bad. I love it though. I still love. That's why I love this thumbnail. Daniel Jones feels bad. I felt bad. Who the fuck cares? Know what? I throw a tantrum every time he throws an interception or when they have to trot out the field goal unit because of the fact that he can't get the team in the end zone. I watched DJ check out of a play a couple times to a run that got stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Good point. Milroy you know what the thing is with him? I think he's more of an athlete and a runner than he is a quarterback. And I know they said the same thing about Lamar Jackson when he came out of Louisville. So you never know. I mean, I don't think he's a first rounder. Mike Ditka gambled with picks away for Ricky Williams. Oh boy, that was robbery. What's sad was the Saints didn't need to do it, but Ditka wanted him bad. That's true. Laugh out loud. Belichick's clown Shane for letting Saquon go. That's the other thing. Stoner philosophy. Belichick has already said some not flattering things about the Giants. I still think that Belichick's upset about the Joe Judge thing. I actually do think he's upset about that. And he said some non-flattering things against the Giants, like, you didn't hit the like button. I remember that. Thoughts on Tyrone Trace? You know what? Kid has even said, how do you like me? This is only my second year playing running back. He's decisive. He hits the hole hard. He hits it with a purpose. He's got the speed because he's got that receiver speed. And I think right now he's what the Giants need. Because again, here comes Mr. Negativity. On the downside, I think he runs too high. I think if you do that, if you have a tendency to run high, you're going to get yourself killed. There was an old running back out of Iowa. His name was Ethan Horton. And I believe he went to the Kansas City Chiefs years ago. And I remember watching him play. And I remember watching him play early in his career. And I kept saying to people, he's running way too high. He's running way too high. And he flamed out as a running back. And he actually became a tight end and had a career as a tight end. And he was the epitome in my mind of running high. And if you do that in the league, you could do that for a period of time until teams figure it out. And I keep telling this with Tyrone Tracy, just wait till about week 12. If he's still running with purpose and consistency by week 12, if he's out of concussion protocol and the league has not adjusted to him a little bit, then you got something. But there have been plenty of guys that have had 1-2 good games in a season, and then you never hear from them again. You have to just kind of wait and see. And I like I said, I like that he runs with purpose. He runs with authority. To me right now, he's a one cut back. And that's something that teams could key on if they start understanding his tendencies. But right now he was what the Giants, if he does not have that 45-yard touchdown run, the Giants do not even get any closer in this Pittsburgh game. Now, the other thing is this, it was the knock on Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley could have 17 carries for 45 yards and have 1 for 50. Then you got 17 carries for 95 yards. Like, whoa, what a good looking game. He's kind of done that a couple times. He's had the big runs, but you also have to understand you're going to have your 1 or 2 words at the same time. So we have to just wait and see. Best running back pick other than Ricky Williams is actually Edwin James. I believe that. Who got a quarterback already? Just signed the deal on a bad team, Justin Herbert. They're not going to trade they're not trading Justin Herbert. I remember when Gettleman said a lot of teams wanted DJ. Well, they should have took him. They could have had him. Strider says, Tim, the pick of DJ threw. How about moving a little bit and throwing it to Singletary? You saw a guy who wasn't blocked. He wasn't near DJ, and he panicked, threw off balance. Good job, DJ. That to me is the epitome again of stepping in the bucket. You don't really have any. You don't have any pressure. You don't have any sense around you. There is a guy. There's another guy wide open in the field that you don't even see, and you step in the bucket on your throw, and it's a high errant throw. Omar, what's up, Omar? Tim, our Giants are 2-6. Packers are 6-2 with my nephew Xavier McKinney and Malik Willis. They had X and let him walk for nothing. Could have had Malik in the draft. Sorry, teams have to stay for a reason. Malik and McKinney played in high school together, as you know. I don't have to tell you. Malik Willis 3-0 as a starter. It's tied with the same amount of wins as Jordan Love. Has more wins than Aaron Rodgers, and is the only undefeated quarterback in the league outside of Patrick Mahomes. He was in a bad scenario, in a bad situation in Tennessee. I said that the day the Tennessee Titans drafted him. The coaching staff did not like him, did not understand him. They tried to make him a pocket passer. You had McKinney, who to me is now the best safety in the league. And we let him walk for nothing. We didn't even try to give him a contract. And this is the thing. People are like, well, how do you know that? Because they would have shown it on Hard Knocks. They would have said, look, we tried to pay McKinney. He didn't want to fucking be here. They did it with Saquon. I mean, seriously. Just look at it. You've got to find a coach. I'm going to say this again. You have to find, if you're going to start this right again, don't fire the coach and keep the general manager. because it was the general manager's thought process, and it was the general manager who liked the coach that he hired because he didn't want Brian Flores, but he had this simpatico relationship with Dable. So at this point in time, why are you going to keep the guy that brought in the guy that did nothing? I'm the dude that played the dude that looks like the other dude. But that's what you literally did. You brought in a guy and he flames out. So you get to pick another guy. You brought in you didn't bring in the quarterback, but you re-signed the quarterback to a deal that no one else in the NFL would have gave him. And I said this before, once the ink dried on that deal, that was no longer a Gettleman guy. It was a Shane guy. So your thought process was Daniel Jones is a good quarterback, even though his best season was 3,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. Yes, he had 700 yards rushing and whatever, 7 touchdowns, whatever. So he had 22 touchdowns. And that was his best season, which is an average NFL season at best. And you gave him 160-45 a year. And you didn't have any contingencies at all. You didn't have any contingencies at all. None whatsoever. Because you thought this was the guy. So your general manager and then your brilliance, and even everyone in your own organization says, what is our philosophy going to be? What are we going to look like without Saquon Barkley? What is our identity? Well, I don't want a $45 million quarterback. I hand it off to a $12 million running back. Are they doing that right now in Philly? Are we doing that in Philly right now? But you're going to bring back the guy that's done all this? Tim, the definition of insanity is repeating the same crap over and over again and see if that works out differently. I like to say square peg in a round hole. Let's put DJ out there. What's up, my brother? Kareem, how you doing? Kareem was, of course, all the way. He was out. He says, how's it going, Tim? Glad I was able to make it out and see you in person. Thank you. You're very welcome. It was a pleasure meeting you and your friend. Of course, that was over at the Shannon Rose in Clifton, New Jersey on Monday. It was a fun night. We all had a good time there. I think we had a good time that night. I don't know what time you guys stay. I had to leave at almost like 11 o'clock because I had to get home to the children. But I do appreciate you coming out. I had a really good time meeting you. I'm very interested. I started looking up your channel too as well. So I'm really glad you could make it out. It was a lot of fun. We're going to do another event. It's not going to be at the Shannon Rose, but we're going to do another event. I think more towards the end of the season. Haven't decided when and where yet. We're still working on the location. But definitely appreciate you coming out, man. Much love. Had a good time meeting everybody. Mr. Albert says, I like signing Jones because the disconnect between the coaches and the front office. Now the only way both sides end up on the same page is either Jones is gone and one side is fired. You got to do something different. You've had Daniel Jones for we have eaten vanilla for 6 years. And I am concerned that we're going to get diabetes if we switch to Rocky Road. So maybe like I said, I keep telling people it's the Eli Manning curse. We are being punished for what we did to Eli Manning. Until he gets to the playoff, the curse will not be lifted. Tim, let's thank another player for DJ's best season in 2022. His name was, drumroll please, Saquon Barkley. Said that before too. Saquon in that 22 season, we broke it down before. There's 5 games we do not win without Saquon Barkley, and that first one is the Tennessee game. First game of the season, we do not win without Saquon Barkley. And there was 5 games that we went through. I'm not going to go through it again. That we don't win if we don't have Saquon Barkley in 2022. Daniel Jones, you can't say that about Daniel Jones. Maybe there's one game, and people are going to say, "Well, what about that playoff game in Minnesota?" Oh yes, let's take one of the worst playoff teams and references defenses that I've ever seen, and use that as the barometer and the litmus test. People forget we don't win the Tennessee game without Barkley. 18 carries, 164, and the touchdown. And he had added another 30 with 7 targets. We don't win the Chicago game without Saquon. 31 for 146. We don't win the Jacksonville game without Saquon. We don't win the Houston game without Saquon. And we don't win that other Washington game without Saquon. But I know. Interesting to see what happens with the trade deadline, as we may be big time sellers. Well, the trade deadline is the 6th? I can't remember what the day the trade deadline is. If we lose to Washington and we're 2-7, I'm going to go out in my front lawn and I'm going to write a for sale sign and list all the Giant players that we're selling, that we should sell, but we won't. Matthew says DJ is a loser. His agent is a winner. His agent is 2-0 undefeated against John Mara. I wish I could have. That's the other thing with Johnny AB. I wish I could unsee Hard Knocks. It was funny though. I wasn't going to watch. Oh, make sure you hit the like button, guys. I keep forgetting to say that. Hit the like button. Because if you don't hit the like button, we don't stay in the analytics. You don't stay in the analytics. We don't continue this show. Mrs. Online Big Blue was actually at the event on Monday, which was great because she helped out a lot and did a lot of behind the scenes stuff. And actually she was playing hostess and making sure all the boys and everything and all the guys had everything taken care of for themselves and make sure they had their foods and their drinks and everything else. So she has always said, if we don't hit 100 likes or don't do this, she's always said, you're gonna have to stop doing the show. She's like, but now she's into the show. She's like, oh, I like this live stuff. I like this going out and doing events. I don't. It was fun, but I can't do a Monday night thing 2 hours away from the house and then have to work, worked from, we left at 3, got home about, left 3 in the afternoon on Monday. We got home about 1 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. So she's always saying, now listen, if we don't grow this fucking channel, we're not doing it again. So make sure you grow the channel, hit the damn like button, or you will feel the wrath of Mrs. Online Big Blue. Dennis says, lol, the definition of insanity is actually quoted by Albert Einstein. No, actually, I quoted it. Einstein stole it from me. That's how old I am. Isaiah says, Tim, I would like Dable, but if DJ has to go with Dable, then with Joe, I'm good. If you told me you had to fire Brian Dable and get rid of Daniel Jones at the same time, I would help both of them back. And I bought a truck not too long ago. So I got a big truck out in the front. I will help them back. I'll bring the boxes. I'll bring the tape. Hell, I'll bring the bubble wrap. Carson Beck could be a good pick for the quarterback outside the first round. Yes. The way Carson Beck is playing right now, you had Sam Hartman or Bo Hartman, whatever the hell his name was, the kid that went to Notre Dame and flamed out. Hartman should have came out. He should never hit the transfer portal. He should have came out that year when he had that big year, because he would have been like a first round pick or early second round pick. Carson Beck was going to potentially be a consensus first round pick, but after the way he's been playing, I mean, to me, he should go back to college. He should pull a duck. He should pull a Justin Herbert and go back to school. That's what I would do, because your draft stock right now, you have the likes of Ward, Milroy, and Sanders, that you have their draft stock going up. Yours is going down. Yankees fans banned from Game 5 after Mookie Betts interference. All of them are banned? Yankee fans will be banned at what? Wait, are they all banned? Yankee fans will be banned after Game 5 after Mookie Betts interference in the World Series. Just the 2 Yankee fans. The way the Post had it set up is that Yankee fans will be banned. I'm looking at it go, wait, all the Yankee fans are getting banned because this one guy was an idiot? I was like, damn. It's like this league's getting fucking rough. This league's got some problem that they're gonna ban everybody. No, it just turns out the 2 guys that did it are being banned. Sometimes you have to read that's the thing I hate about the newspapers. You have to actually read the articles. Vikings D was focused on stopping Saquon Barkley, not DJ. Jones running for a touchdown in Chicago because of Saquon. They bid on the Saquon run after he had just converted the 3rd and long after the spin move. You're right. Swing Culture TV. Swing Culture, of course, was also out with us at the Shannon Rose over in Clifton, New Jersey. Here we are. There was Swing Culture sitting there with Chris with Love of MMA. You can see that we had the whole entire professional setup going on there. So we had a lot of fun time out there, and I want to appreciate Swing Culture for coming on out and having a good time, having a few drinks. He brought one of his friends with him, who is awesome. I think one of the highlights of the night was actually screwing around with his friend. But I really do appreciate 2 guys coming out. If the Giants fire Daboll, he will go to the Raiders and give the Giants the biggest middle finger ever. Hope he does. We have to get Shane Bowen a CB1. You thought you had a CB1 here's the thing with Shane Bowen. Don't get him a CB1. Shane Bowen's defensive philosophy in Tennessee, outside of the 2 Jim Schwartz years, his defensive secondaries did not work. You have this philosophy right now where he's almost playing a wink philosophy and doing a little bit more exotic blitzes, bringing the safeties, does everything he can. His philosophy with the Titans was always rush 4, potentially drop your ends into coverage, but try to create your rush with the 4 guys and play 7 back. And it never worked. Didn't work well. He's doing something different now. And I said when they hired Shane Bowman, I didn't like the hire because I don't like his I didn't like his defensive philosophy. And I wondered out loud numerous times, is he going to try to make the players fit to his philosophy, or is he going to tailor his system to the players? And he literally has tailored the system to the players. So I don't want to do anything different. No, the 2 fans are. I know. I was just right. I know. I just thought it was funny. The headline. That's all. The headline. The headline in the Post literally says Yankee fans will be banned. And I was like, but they're banning the whole fucking stadium. They're not going to tell 50-some thousand people they can't go. Shane says, what would the team look like if we had Tyrod? I don't think Tyrod Taylor was ever the answer. I don't think he was ever a long-term answer. You would need a rookie quarterback behind. This is what I always thought with Tyrod Taylor. You keep Tyrod Taylor, you draft Michael Penix, and you keep Saquon Barkley. And that was it. That was always my philosophy. And you could have gotten you could get a rookie wide receiver that was not named Malik Neighbors later in this draft. There was tons of them. Of course, are they going to be how good as he is? I don't know. I don't know, but you could have still gotten your quarterback, and then you could turn around and still gotten your guy that you needed. I mean, I still think, I mean, you still could have done it. Look at what Xavier Worthy was doing. Look what Brian Johnson Jr. was doing before he got hurt. Keenan Coleman is not looking terrible in that late second or early second round pick. I mean, you had, even, Legette's, doing a couple things here and there, even with a bad Carolina team. There was guys you could have had. You could have had your running back. Here's the thing that really pisses me off about the Giant team. You get rid of Daniel Jones. You could have had your quarterback and Michael Penix, your running back and Saquon Barkley. You could have still had a wide receiver in that second round, and you still would have had enough money to go out and get and keep Xavier McKinney if you don't trade for Brian Burns. What does my brother have to say here? I'm going to start watching the film on Dylan Gabriel. You do. You should. You should do that. You should come on the TV. You should come on the TV. You should come on the show. Let's see here. Saquon defense and 2 touchdowns for the Vikings in the playoff game as well. Yeah, I know, but a lot of people give him the credit for that one. So the Giants have become the team that teams look at and automatically put a W in. We went through the schedule, Kevin, about an hour ago. I said 5 to 6 wins, and I have 5 maybe wins with potential 6th if the Eagles don't need that January 6th game. If the Eagles just don't play anyone. If the Eagles go out and get Roman Gabriel to come in and play. I think he's dead, but so the Giants might be able to beat him. Then they get to win 6 games, which I think would put them anywhere between 9 to 16 in reference to the draft board. depending on how the rest of the league falls out. So it's going to make it interesting. What's up, Thad? Tim, do you think Shane and Dable are sticking with Jones because he gives us the best chance to lose and a better chance to pick to replace him? I said that on Twitter yesterday, and I laugh because people are like, "You're so mean." I said that Daniel Jones gives us the best chance to lose. Like, he gives us the best chance to lose. That's why we're playing him. That's why they refuse to play the likes of Drew Lock or Tommy DeVito, because they may come in and screw shit up. Oh my God. Where do we go, my lovely? How many likes do we have? Let me look here. Ooh, you guys only went up to 39 likes. We got 95 plus people in the room and only 39 likes. The boys that were here on Monday night will tell you Mrs. Online Big Blue won't be happy. And she's scary. All 4'11". Jeez, you don't want to mess her. Tim, do you want to start getting apology letters from your take on Malik Willis?
I find this great. What is wrong?
I don't know where Malik Willis.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I don't know where my Malik Willis is. Because he's bringing the boom again. But we still do have the Online Big Blue apology form. Online Big Blue, Daniel Jones lovers apology forms. We are sorry, Tim. You have been right about Daniel Jones for 6 years. P.S. We will never doubt you again. I had that form up on Twitter, so I want everyone to go around and pass out that form. Listen, the take on Malik Willis was just that. And people are like, well, you don't know anything because you still think Malik Willis is going to be good. Yeah, because you literally had a quarterback. That is a running quarterback, and your head coach Mike Vrabel literally said in his second preseason game, his rookie year, because he played all 4 preseason games or 3 preseason games. He said, "You are not allowed to leave the pocket. You are now a pocket passer. You're Ryan Tannehill. You're a pocket passer." And that's not what he does. And then you got Ryan Tannehill saying, "Well, I'm not here to mentor Malik," but then they draft Will Levis a year later. And these two are like, well, you know what? I'm going to do everything I can to help this dude. And then he goes over to Green Bay. He goes over to a head coach. He goes over to a team that has some talent. He goes over to a head coach that philosophy fits Malik and the way Jordan Love plays. And Malik is a bigger guy than Jordan Love. I think Malik is faster than Jordan Love. And then what does he do? He just wins 3 games. Because he's in the right situation. I've said this a million times before. When you have talent, the right situation is the place that you need to be in. What's crazy? Drive me crazy. When I went back and watched Steelers games, I literally said to myself, Kerry Collins would have done better and actually would have won it and actually threw. I'm not going to go that way. I'm not going to go crazy about that only because of the fact that I think the Steelers shot themselves in the foot more than the Giants held in there. Because what was it? 7 plus, I think it was 7 plays of 10 yards, 10 plus yards or more the Steelers had in that first half. The Steelers should have been up like 21-9. I think they played down to their talent. That makes that, make that 40 for me. Well, you got it. The wide receiver class was deeper in the quarterback class. They should have drafted Penix. People called Penix injury prone, but he hadn't had a major injury since he was at Indiana, and the Giants passed the clowns. I said that. I said the same thing. It was so deep of a wide receiver draft. You could look at literally what they did over in Buffalo. Buffalo Bills were just like, you know what? We're letting all these guys go. We're going to get rid of Stephon Diggs. We're going to get rid of everyone else. We're going to have these guys that are basically not no-name guys, but guys you look at and say, you know, are these guys NFL guys? They're 6-2 with the team. You know, Keenan Coleman, who was a 2nd-round pick, I think he's starting to. I liked him coming out of college. I said that I really think he could be a player. I think he's finally starting to find the stride a little bit. He's got 21 receptions for 396 yards, 18.9, 3 touchdowns. I mean that's crazy. I mean, if you think about, and Keenan Coleman is, like I said, he was an early 2nd-round pick. And he was not a focal point or philosophy of that team. And you have the like of Malik Neighbors, who's got 46 receptions for 498 yards and 3 touchdowns, and only has 10.8 yards a catch. And I'm going to tell you again, with Keenan Coleman, He's got 21 receptions for almost 400 yards, 18.9 and 3 touchdowns. And you took him how many picks after Malik Neighbors? Daniel Jones does just enough to make it like we're trying to win, but he had to eventually lose. You're right. Mr. Bruce says if Dable was in the room, we would sign Jones and he has to go. If he wasn't that, Shane would has to go. Then they're both where they both have to go. Someone has to take responsibility for the fuck up. That should be the owner. It should be. I'm sad watching the quarterback and barely stretching to 35 yards down the field, and I want all the fade back. I want everything back. I've seen enough of Dable and Shane and Jones. The team is toast. Players are starting to quit on the Giants. I've seen enough of Daniel Jones too. They are tired of losing with Jones. I'm tired of it too. Tim, do we get comp picks for Barkley? Do we get comp picks? No, I don't think we get. No, we didn't sign them the contracts. I believe they neither. I don't believe we get. I don't believe we get comp picks for them because they were unrestricted free agents. I'm tired of us having a Super Bowl potential defense, but what we don't have. All right, we don't have it. Let's not get crazy. We do not have a Super Bowl potential defense. We have a top 15 defense. Defense just to give it a WNBA offense because of one player, DJ, is a liability. So you're saying he's Angel Reese? I don't want to pick on Angel Reese, man, but I tried watching WNBA games, and I love when she came up with a comment going, you know what? They're not just watching one player. People are tuning in to watch me too. And then you see her play. And then I love it because she's like, also, I'm not a sex symbol, so stop treating me like one. But then she goes on Instagram and posts all these pictures and lingerie and bikinis and everything else. And it's a fashion runway show when she comes into the building. And they talk about all of her offensive rebounds. Is it really an offensive rebound if you continuously get your own miss? She has no game whatsoever. Never seen anything like it. And I've never seen a player throw up 3 shots, miss all 3, get her own rebound, and then finally score, and then do that little thing she does. And you're looking at her like, it took you 3 chances to get the ball in the hoop, and you're 2 feet away from the basket. And you're happy with yourself that you got 3 offensive rebounds, which were your own rebounds, and then finally scored a point. I keep thinking that Penix would be here I don't think he would have been in the second round. I always thought Penix was going to go in the first. Anthony says, Tim, do you think the Giants are all going to go all in for Archie? Because you can't. Here's the thing, and I understand where your philosophy is about trying to get Archie Manning, but you can't put your eggs in the Archie Manning basket because of the fact that you don't even know if you're going to be able to draft him. You don't know if the kid's going to blow out his ACL in college. You don't know if he all of a sudden decides he wants to stay next year. You don't know if he decides he wants to be a doctor. People are relying on this with him, and it just makes me not cringe, but I'm just like, guys, we were gonna go all in Justin Herbert. I remember that we were going all in on Justin Herbert. We were gonna suck for the duck, and then Justin Herbert looked at the draft board. Saw he could potentially go to the Giants, and he didn't pull an Eli Manning. This motherfucker turned around and said, I'm going back to college. I'm going to go drink beer for another year. Worthy's in Baltimore. Yes, he is. You are correct. This is all adversaries just making DJ strong. All adversity is just making DJ stronger. Low, imagine if Malik Neighbors had Josh on. He'd be ripping up the league. Tim, I hate tanking. If the Giants win some games, there are going to be games. Hopefully they think the playoffs, the Giants fall. A lot of them are going to get pissed and say what we aren't tanking. Yeah, we are tanking. We're not tanking. The talent gap between the Coleman and the talent gap between Neighbors and Coleman is significant. What is why he went higher. I hate that he got drafted to a team with Daniel Jones. You have to remember this. We're going to talk about this before. You have 498 yards, and then Keenan Coleman has 398 6 yards. You have 3 touchdowns, and then you have 3 touchdowns. Coleman's 18.6 yards of reception, 10.4 for Malik Neighbors. Right now, the gap rate is not like this tremendous. It's not this tremendous thing. the thing with Malik Neighbors is he gets force-fed the ball. Keenan Coleman has a quarterback who facilitates the ball. That's what we got to think about. Let's see here. They need to adjust the quarterback in this draft, not waiting for a pipe dream. I agree. I don't think the Manning family would let Arch. It's funny. You basically had the Manning family force Eli out of San Diego into New York. I think you could potentially have the same scenario where the Manning family says, no, we don't want him going to the Giants, especially if this shit is still going on here. I don't think the Manning family, I know we got that. Justin Herbert really did not want to be a Giant because his gentleman said, I'm going back to college. No way. Nope. I love that was the best part, though. We were going to suck for the duck. We were in position to get the duck. And the duck said, nope. Not going there. The weather's kind of nice out here. I'm going to stay in Oregon. And the weather's not nice in Oregon. Scorcher says it's pretty hard to screw up the 5 and 7, right? You know what? I'm going to talk about this now because, some people think I'm a genius. But all I have to say is it's pretty hard to screw up 5 and 7. You fucking did it. Kudos to Joe Shane. You may have potentially screwed up 5 and 7. Evan Neal can't even get on a milk carton as a missing person because nobody wants to find him. I mean, think about that for a minute. Do you know what Evan Neal's snap count is this year? Does anyone know? Because I know. Does anyone else know? Does anyone take a guess what Evan Neal's snap count is this year? His 2024 snap count. It's a big number. It's a big number. No, Strider. Evan Neal's snap count right now is 1 game and 1 snap. 1 game, 1 snap. What's up, my brother? Oh, I just knocked out my monitor. Oh, it's back now. What's my brother say? Funny part. What's the funny part? We still have. Funny part is we are still in position to draft him next year. Lol, but we had DJ. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. No. Snap count is 1. He said one play. Mr. Roberts says, because in difference to Manning, the Giants kept Jones around because of Eli. Eli in the interview said they should resign Jones. Now the fans only want Arch and no other quarterback that gets a fair shake. Nope, it's 0-0. 11. Ooh, that would have been a good answer. Here we go. Mr. Roberts got Neal had 1 snap, and that was on the 2-point conversion. Laughing my yes. He had 1. He's had 1 snap on the 2-point conversion, which went horribly wrong here. There's something very wrong here. Where are we at, likewise? If we don't have at least 60 likes, Mrs. OBB is not going to be happy. She's going to call me up from work going, you had 100-some people in the room important time and you couldn't get 60 likes. I'm not going to let you do the show anymore. Is that what you guys want? Is that what you want? You want to take me off the air? Because she'll do it. Kareem met her. Edwin met her. Edwin. Why do I call you Lester? Called you Edwin again. I love it because Lester came out to the Shannon Rose. And I was on the phone with my friend Edwin. And right when he showed up. And I just hung up. And there he's standing in front of me. And Lester's been part of the show for a while now, and I'm laughing though because he's coming up, and I'm calling him Edwin, and I had to apologize. I had to apologize the next day too because I know his name. I got it in my words. I got it into my phone. I got his last name. I know his last name too, but I kept calling him Edwin for the first couple seconds he was there because I was talking to my buddy and I couldn't. And I just you had one of those parent moments. And Lester said it best. Sometimes when you yell at your kids, you all of a sudden just kind of forget who you're yelling at. Well, I wasn't yelling at him, but I was just so excited to see him because I hadn't seen him since the draft party. So it was exciting. Same with Christopher Love MMA. I've seen him since draft party either. So it was nice to have him out and nice to see him again. So he's a good guy. He's a good friend. He's a good fan of the show. So it's awesome. Tim is getting banned by his wife. Yeah, he might. Wonka by his wife. Greg says this is so hard to press the like button. Never got that. Yeah, how hard is it to press the freaking like button? I'm not going to say anything, but I can't leave until I have 60 likes. I have 54. Oh, she's going to yell at me, guys. The 2-point conversion when Danny Jones got pissed off. Guess what? I don't fucking care because Evan Neal was on that play. What do we got? NJ5 saying Eli wants to screw up the Giants for bailing him out, so he recommended the organization resigned DJ. I think it was. We've said it before. We're cursed. Mara has been hiring buddies because this team is got Coughlin cursed. No, it's the Eli Manning curse. I'm telling you guys. It's the freaking Eli Manning curse. This is the football gods. It's like when the Red Sox, didn't trade away, sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees. It's the curse of the Billy Goat. We all know this.
This place is cursed.
What is it with you and curses? Yeah, I know.
We're all cursed because of that. And the only win, the most recent win we have is the weekend that Eli Manning got on the Hall of Fame ballot. The curse was lifted for a game, and then everything's gone to shit. So if Eli makes the Hall this year, the curse will be lifted. Let's see here. Neil for LT. It could be worse. The current guy, Azuda, played both at the bottom 10, the left tackle rankings of when played. What's up, Charlie? What quarterback do you like coming out this year, Tim? I've said this before. I loved Carson Beck. Thought he was going to be the guy. Have watched him play. Have watched him play in the losses. Have watched him play in the wins. Not impressed. Cam Ward, even when he kind of had a bad game last week, it was a gut check game, and he didn't get down. He didn't get sullen. He came through. He is a guy that he's gone through his progressions. He seems comfortable in the pocket. He's a big bodied guy. He's got the arm. He's got the ability to look through the field. I kind of like Cam Ward now. And I think that if you're going to take chips and go all in, my pick right now would be Cam Ward. Bruce, do me a favor, Tim. Sure. Explain to me what the fuck that I saw in the 2-point attempt. I've never seen that play called the Madden, so I'm slightly confused. Brian Dable called that play. I think it was last year. Called the same play, but they called it. They did it, and then they went back to a regular formation. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. I thought it was the old Statue of Liberty play at one point in time. I don't. Sometimes you just get too smart for your own good. If he dies, he dies. Oh my God. Anthony says we'll probably miss out on the quarterback next year. Dan Jones, 5 years, $65 million is guaranteed. So Ingolder said, let's get those likes to 50. Hit the like button. It's free. Matthew says, if we aren't picking a quarterback in the first round, then maybe Beck falls. I just can't. You know what? I just not liking what I see about Beck. I'm just not liking it now. And when you have a guy that plays at a top program with top competition and plays well, you kind of get this warm, fuzzy feeling. I'm just not getting this warm, fuzzy feeling with Carson Beck anymore. I mean, I really liked him. I thought truly he was going to be the guy. But now I don't know. It's a 3rd round pick then maybe if he continues to play with this. Daniel Jones makes more money than Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart combined. How the NFL stepped in to help clean up this mess. It's easy. We just got to do it right. Matt, let's see here. Let's see. NJ Clown says, Azeez Ojulari and maybe Slayton be traded. They will be foolish to repeat last year's trade. I don't know if they're smart enough to do it. I don't know if they're smart. Because Mara is under Goodell's test. Daniel Jones. What do we got, Shane? Here's the kicker in the defense, scoring more than DJ. How many red zone fuck-ups does he have now? There's a lot of – he's got a lot of red zone fuck-ups. Daniel Jones. I mean, if you look at him, and he, like I said, we got to stop. We got to stop with that shit. We just have to stop. I don't know, guys. I don't know, guys. What's his name? It's the LSU kid, Garrett. I can't think of Garrett. I can't think of Garrett's last name. I'm having a moment. I can't. Honestly, Giants clown. I can't think right now about him. Because I actually haven't watched, to be honest, I haven't watched enough of them to be perfectly honest, give you any type of assessment that's actually going to be somewhat accurate. Dable's actually starting to scare me. Fossil won Coach of the Year in 87, fell off in 98, 89, 99, but the team has never had as bad as this and never kept committing to insanity. That's the other thing. Jim Fossil, yeah, he still had Kerry Collins. So he had a quarterback. I'm done with Dable too. Me too. So I don't know, guys. All right, guys, I got to check out of here because I'm hungry and I want some lunch. Let's see here. We got 53 legs. Mrs. Online Big Blue might let me stream on Sunday if I don't have 60 legs, but that's okay. But I want to thank everyone that came out again to the Shannon Rose in Clifton, New Jersey. I want to thank everyone who's been in the chat for the last hour and a half. It was a lot of fun. I missed doing the live stream on Tuesday because honestly, I was just too gosh darn tired to actually come out and do the live stream Tuesday morning. So I'm glad I was able to jump on the mic today and do it today. And as always, I want to thank everyone. This is Tim Stewart, Giant Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to ring that bell. Because why? Why not? Peace, everyone. I'm out of here. See you shortly.